What's up guys, it's JTB Gaming here, and today we have the third episode of our AC Horsens Road to Glory. And to start this episode off, we have a league game as we host Lyngby BK. We will continue to be lining up in this 4-1-4-1 as I feel like it has given us the most success. Lyngby will be lining up in a 5-2-3. This is a very defensive formation, so we will most likely have to counterattack, but however, we are very good at that, so I feel like we do have a chance to win this game. In the 10th minute, the ball gets played out wide to Frankston, who plays it for Nyman. Nyman then plays it into Frankston. Frankston plays it through for Paul. Paul backheels it into Franston before Franston puts it near post past the keeper to put us up 1-0 in the 11th minute. In the 42nd minute, Valakari plays the ball into Hansen. Hansen plays it up top to Paul. Paul is able to shield off a defender before playing it into Valakari. Valakari is then able to turn around his defender. He shoots from outside the 18 and puts it into the back of the net to score an absolute banger to put us up 2-0 in the 44th minute. In the 73rd minute, Hansen gets the ball into Thornton. Thornton plays it through to Paul. Paul then gets past the defenders. He goes to shoot, but his shot is blocked before Thorson is able to get the rebound and put it into the back of the net to put us up 3-0 in the 75th minute. At full time, we would go on to win at 3-0 thanks to goals from Franston, Valakari, and Thornton. Looking at the player ratings at the end of the game, we did amazingly as our lowest player was Hansen and he had a 7.5. Our midfield, except for Hansen, all finished above an 8, which is amazing, and our striker Paul was able to finish with a 9, so we did truly play a good game. Looking at the match facts at the end of the game, this definitely was not the game I expected, as we had 9 shots on target and they had 7 shots on target. I expected this to be a boring game, however it was very back and forth. We did have a higher shot accuracy, and we just made more of our chances, so that is what was able to win us the game. Our first youth scouting report has come in. From our scout in Denmark, he has found 4 players, the first of which is Mikael Johansson. Johansson is a attacking left wing from Denmark who is 6 foot tall. He has a 50 overall and he has a potential of 66 to 92. So he is a very physically gifted player that we hopefully will be able to use in the future as long as his potential remains high. The second player from Denmark that our scout found is Mads Jensen. Jensen is a technically gifted right mid from Denmark who is 5'5". He is a 61 overall with a potential of 80 to 94. I was hoping his overall would be a little bit higher. However, it is still good enough to be first team quality. The third player is Mikael Olensson. Olensson is an attacking center mid who is 5'10". He's a 38 overall and he has a potential of 70 to 94. The final player is Jonas Madsen. He can either play center mid, striker, or left wing. Madsen is in fact a attacking mid. He's a 48 overall with a potential of 68 to 92. So from our scout in Denmark, this has been a very good first month as we have 1 player that we might even promote immediately and 3 players who could easily be first team quality, maybe even at the end of this season. Our scout from Russia has brought back 2 players, and the first of which is Miroslav Moskovin. He can either play left mid, center mid, right mid, or center back. Moskovin is a defensive minded center mid. He is 6'4", so I do feel like he has the right build to be a defensive mid. He's a 40 overall and he has a potential of 66 to 90. The second player that our Russian scout found is Nikita Krylov. He can either play left back, center back, right back, or right mid. Krylov is a defensive minded right back who is 5'11". He is a 52 overall and he has a potential of 73 to 94. And I feel like he could be the perfect replacement for Nyman heading into next season. Our Finnish scout has found 3 players, and the first of which is Samuel Samu. He can play left mid, right mid, center mid, striker, or center back. Samu is a playmaking center mid. He is a 53 overall and he has a potential of 61 to 83. Depending on if that potential is more towards that 83 end of the spectrum, I may just promote him to sell him. The second player our Finnish scout found is Kimmo Kiukin. He can either play left wing, right wing, striker, right mid, or center mid. Kuikonen is a technically gifted striker who is a 46 overall and has a potential of 64 to 86. I will most likely not keep him around very long as he does have lower potential and lower overall. The third player that our scout has found is Pekko Lakonen. He can either play center mid, attacking mid, left wing, right wing, or striker. Lakonen is a 53 overall attacking mid with a potential of 65 to 89. Along with Samu, I will see what his potential looks like, but I may just promote him to sell him. I did end up promoting Mads Jensen to the first team, as he is a good player that I think will start very soon, and Madsen is in fact an exciting prospect, so we definitely will keep him around as he has the highest potential in the team right now. Looking at Jensen's stats. He has a 3-star weak foot and 4-star skill moves. He's a medium attacking work rate and a low defensive work rate. He has 69 pace, which is not good but not bad. He has 51 shooting, which is definitely we're going to have to work on. He has 58 passing, which is not that bad. He has 67 dribbling, which is very good. And he has 34 defending and 45 physical. For the next month of training, I will be training Krylov and Jensen. I will have Krylov becoming a better defender and being more agile and better at dribbling. Jensen, I will be working on his crossing and his shooting. We now get a little bit more good news as Luka Prip has returned from his injury, so he will most likely be starting again. After all of that Youth Academy news, we get back into the action as we travel to face Sonderjisk. Sonderjisk will be lining up in a 4-1-4-1, which is the same formation we will likely use. We will in fact be lining up in that 4-1-4-1. The only changes I have made is Prip is at right mid as he's returned from injury, and Jensen will be getting his first start at left mid. In the 11th minute, Sonderjisk have the ball in a very dangerous area in our box. The ball is crossed back post. Nyman is able to clear away the first header. Jacobson looks to clear away the second before we turn the ball over. The ball is then played to the player on top of the box, and he's able to curl it right upper 90 past Delac to put Sonderjisk up 1-0 in the 12th minute. In the 45th minute, after a Sonderjisk corner, Pol is looking to counterattack as he uses his pace to get past and behind all the defenders. He then gets into the box and he crosses it into Valakari, who calmly puts it into the back of the net to tie the game up at 1-1 just before halftime. In the 70th minute, Valakari sprays the ball out wide to Nyman. Nyman plays it into Prip. Prip plays Valakari. Valakari plays Pol. Pol is then able to turn and get into the box, and he then crosses it back post. However, the defender gets in the way and hits it into the back of the net as they score an own goal to put us up 2-1 in the 79th minute. At full time, we would go on to win 2-1 thanks to that goal from Valakari and that own goal caused by Pol. Looking at the player ratings at the end of the game, our defense did somewhat okay. They could have done much better. However, most of them finished above a 7, so we're not complaining. Valakari would get man of the match as he finished with an 8.2 rating after having that goal. Pol would finish with an 8.1 after having that assist and causing that own goal. Jensen, our youth player, on his debut finished with a 7.0, which is very good. And in Prip's return from injury, he didn't do much, so that's why he finished with a 6.1. Looking at the match facts at the end of the game, we definitely did not deserve to win. However, we did do well as we had 2 shots on target and we were able to convert both of those. Sonderjisk had 11 shots in total, but only 4 on target, and they were only able to convert the 1. They had more possession and they had a higher pass accuracy. However, we were just able to make the most of our chances. We now have the third game of this episode as we travel to face Randers FC at the Bionutria Park. Randers will be lining up in a 4-4-2. I will be using the same lineup that we used in the last game, as I want to take advantage of their lack of central midfielders as we have 3 and they only have 2. In the 11th minute, the ball is played out wide to Nyman. Nyman plays it into Valakari. Valakari plays Pol. Pol is able to turn his defender. He uses his speed to get past him before he cuts it back. He puts it into Hansen, and Hansen puts it past the keeper to put us up 1-0 in the 12th minute of the game. In the 44th minute, Rangers have the ball in a dangerous area. Maskovic is able to make a good tackle before Hansen gets the ball and plays it into Jensen. Jensen is then slide tackled, but he stays on his feet. He then gets past one defender. He loses the ball to a second before Lom expertly tactically fouls the player to prevent a dangerous counterattack just before halftime. Lom most likely will end up receiving a yellow card. However, I am not upset with this as I feel like it was a good decision. At full time, we would go on and win 1-0 thanks to that goal from Hansen in the 12th minute. Looking at the player ratings, Pol finished with an 8.1, and that's very good from our striker. Hansen, who got that goal, finished with an 8.0. Ludwig would end up being man of the match as he finished with an 8.2 rating. Everyone else was kind of in the middle. They didn't really do well, but they didn't do bad. But we won the game, so that's all that really matters. Looking at the match facts, we did have more shots on target, so we should have won. We did have more possession. It in all was a very even game. We just got one good chance and we were able to convert that. We now have the 4th game of this episode as we host Ebsberg FB at the Casa Arena. We will again be lining up in that 4-1-4-1. Ebsberg will be lining up in a 4-3-3. So we have very similar shapes. Ours is just a little bit more defensive. In the 32nd minute, Ebsberg have the ball in our box. Lum is shooting the defender, making sure the cross doesn't come in, but their player gets the ball. The player is then wide open in the box. He passes it across. They do a quick 1-2. to distract our defenders before he puts it past Delac to put us down 1-0 in the 33rd minute. In the 42nd minute, Esberg have the ball in another dangerous area as we are not able to get the ball away from the top of our box. They're then able to get into the box where it's cut back and their player is able to find the bottom right corner to put the ball into the back of the net to put us down 2-0 in the 43rd minute. At full time, we would go on to lose 2-0. This definitely was a very bad game for us as all of our player ratings are very low, except for Valakari and Nyman, who played well. We did have multiple players with yellow cards because it was just a very chippy game. Looking at the match facts at the end of the game, they somehow only had 1 shot on target but scored 2 goals. We had 4 shots on target but scored 0. Our luck wasn't on our side this game as it has been throughout this whole season, but it is what it is, and it's only 1 loss out of 4 games. Looking at the results from this episode, we were able to have 3 consecutive wins to start the episode before that tough loss. So I consider this a very good win, as 9 points in 4 games is very good. In the league, we are currently in 4th place on 20 points. Looking at the month of October, we only have 3 games, and 2 of those should be very winnable. I'm not sure about our second game, but I feel like we should be able to win our first and third game of the month. I hope you all enjoyed watching. I do plan on posting more of this series soon, so if you want to subscribe and stay tuned for that, feel free to do so. And it's JTV Gaming, signing off.